Most people can't beat a goldfish in a concentration test. I mean, you're probably watching this on the telly right now while you're playing Block Blaster on your phone. Put it down, you already lost. The world is designed to scatter your attention. The modern narrative on ADHD is that we're overprescribing medication, we're overdiagnosing these kids. But it's not just that we're seeing it more in the world, I feel like we're manufacturing it. Look at it this way: some people are born visually impaired, but unfortunately, there are some of those who get doused with a cup full of bleach in their eyes. And this modern world, we're bleaching our own brains. And if you can't control your own focus and attention, somebody is going to control it for you. Now, I'm not one to judge. My entire life, I've been told about how much untapped potential I have, how dangerous I could be if I just learned to focus. Just focus, shit. To just sit down and focus, just do the work. I think I haven't tried. I became so traumatized by this word that I just shunned it out completely until I started looking at it in a different framework. Because focus is such a broad word. If attention is a spotlight, focus is concentration of that spotlight. I could treat focus like any other system, treat focus like any other muscle, and treat it like any other experiment I have. Find those who've mastered it, and find those who teach it and steal their homework. So I found 5 books and 3 professions that have mastered the execution on concentration. Now I'm not gonna dive deep into these books. I read them, I summarized them, and I'm just gonna talk about the one key takeaways I took from each book that I've implemented into my concentration training. For Deep Work by Cal Newport, if you're struggling with productivity and execution especially, this is a must read. What I took away from this book is time blocking and single-minded action. I have 2 major 4-hour time blocks in my workday. The first one, okay, then it starts with the night before. The night before, I plan out what I'm going to be doing the following day. And in the morning, in my morning daily journal, I write down as my last thing is like, what is the one task that needs to be done today? And then for that first 4-hour block, I focus on getting that done. That has to be done. In that 4 hours, I don't need this to move on to past noon, and I definitely don't need this to move on to tomorrow. That has to get done in the first 4 hours. And if it gets done within those 4 hours, I have maintenance work for my business or for my consulting business that I do after that, but only if that gets done first. And then the second 4-hour block, because I know how my brain works, I need a creative outlet and in a space that I can go a little bit wild, and I leave that for the second 4-hour block. But in that block, it's still, though that block is more for what's not allowed, not for what is allowed. This block is for what is the only thing that can be done. Then this block is for the only thing that can't be done, is like you can't play video games, or you can't watch Netflix, or you can't not get work done. But there are some things you can't get done. This is honestly one of my all-time favorite reads. It's a short read, so if you have time, put it in. And if you don't have time, then you probably need even more. Break this down simply, it's the hot and crazy matrix, but this time it's difficulty and skill. I don't really know which one goes where, I can't remember. It's been a while since I read this book, but it opened my mind onto my biggest problem with execution. I have grand ambitions and the vision I have to say that I've achieved something is so grand, but then it doesn't compare to the skill I have to achieve that goal. So I either get too anxious to do anything or too bored. Like, if something is too easy for me, I just won't do it because I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is the point of this? So I try to make it more difficult. But then if it gets too difficult, then I get too anxious and too locked in, that, and not the good locked in as in that I can't do it because the bar is set so high that I can't climb it or I can't jump it. So the trick here is to put it right in the sweet spot, right in the middle. Where if I compare this to coding, especially this is definitely difficult. When I'm learning coding, automation, or anything, I would be like the vision. Oh, I want to build this. I want to do this. I want to create this, and then I don't even know how to do this. So how am I gonna get to this if I can't even do this? Start building slowly. That's also a dopamine thing. Learn, I talked about this in previous videos, learn how to hack your dopamine to achieve small goals and then build upon to greater goals. Ooh, The Power of Focus. This is the book that started this entire journey for me. This is the book that opened my eyes to the ability to train focus, because I just thought focus was a thing some people are born with, some people aren't, just don't have. And I thought I was in this group. I actually stole this book from my sister. I was at her house one day and there was that big word that caused so much trauma in my life was just sitting on a table, and I'm like, let me take this shit. I don't steal shit, but I do steal books because I feel knowledge should be free. The Power of Focus. There's so much I can talk about this book. I took so many notes, but to break it down simply, systems and small habits. It's like the atomic habit, but for focus. Building systems around your focus. I actually created a small little bookmark that I put in my journal. So let me just read this for you. Preparing to do the thing is not doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not have been doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger post about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on others who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Fascinating about praise after doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this list isn't doing the thing. That actually wasn't from the book, but it's a poem. I forgot who actually wrote that poem, or an essay. But somebody wrote that. I should really shout them out. I'll write their name down if I remember. But the power of focus broken down simply is know what you're trying to achieve and be singularly obsessed about execution. Not processing, not planning, not perfection, but obsession in execution. Peak. Now, I've only read this book once and it was a while ago, but I boiled it down to one equation. Deliberate practice equals full attention plus feedback plus repetition. I tell myself that over and over and over again, especially remember when I talked about flow was the bane of execution being difficulty versus skill. Peak is where that comes in. You put full attention into what you're doing in that moment, execution, obsession. And then if you fail, you take feedback on what went wrong. Was it too easy? Was it too hard? Giving feedback on your failure. Pretty sure I talked about that cycle before. And then you adapt and repeat. Repetition. It's all exercise, reps. And then if gym analogies. I'm sorry, people. I know there's not a lot of gym bros watching this, but another gym analogy. Let's say you're in the gym. Let's say you're in the gym, you're trying to lift your weight and it's too heavy. You get off, re-rack it, take some weight off, and try again. Don't just leave the fucking gym. I'm gonna try to find some other metaphors, some analogies, but gym comes naturally to brother, you know? The Power of Concentration. It's a really old book. I've been looking for a hard copy everywhere, but I just listened to the audiobook after I read Power of Focus. I was looking for more information on how to train concentration and focus, and then I found the Power of Focus on YouTube. Still up there, probably just type it and you'll find it. And It's an old book, but it brought back my idea of drilling. And it really turned concentration into an active force, not just theory. In that book, there's a lot of drills. It's more of a workout manual for concentration than a book, actually. So I can't really. I should actually maybe break this down for the modern age because I don't haven't seen any YouTubers do it. Okay, for another time. But it made me start looking for professions that actually have mastered concentration, because in this book it teaches you drilling, intentional drilling for your eyes, reading without distraction, staring at a candle. Like this, I'll talk about these drills in the training part of this video, but it's just a training book for concentration. It's really good. When it comes to masters to look at, for anything I'm trying to master in life, I look at who's already done it, who's already mastered it. When it comes to business, I look at people who started where I am and got to where I want to be, and then I just say, what did they do to get there? And I try to emulate that. So for concentration, there are three professions that came to mind: elite athletes, shooters, that'd be snipers or archers, not machine guns. So like, would you rather be a sniper, one kill, one high target kill that can change the world, or do you want to be a guy on the top of a turret just gunning people? I'm sorry, I just saw where that went. I'm sorry. And the last one is a monk. Monks are notorious for concentration and calm, integral focus. So what do? They meditate, they breathe, they control their emotions. So for professional athletes like elite basketball players, Formula One drivers, if you are driving a Formula One car and you're not concentrating on what you're doing, that is a life or death decision. Motocross riders, just listen to their interviews, listen to how they speak, listen to how they train, and try to implement what they do with what you do. I don't really have much to talk about this because it's more going into the training part of this video. But I'm just mentioning this more to teach you that if you want to get anything done in life, just look for who's already done it. Look for who's already done it and then just copy their homework. Now for my favorite part: training. Your brain is like a leaky bucket, and concentration is plugging up those holes, filling up the gaps. Where do I start with the training? I guess where life starts: breathing. Whenever you feel like you're losing control, box breathing. I got this from elite snipers. Snipers will sit in a position for weeks. Not always, but they can, and they're ready to sit in a position for weeks just to execute one target. And if they can do that, I can sit in this chair and program some silly little app for. I don't think any of my clients are watching this, but some of this shit is silly. Box breathing is literally, it feels like hitting a reset on your brain. The second I start feeling that panic or that anxiety, just stop. It's like a short breath of meditation. I practice another form of meditation called Kundalini yoga. That is like a yoga focus for physically. It's releasing the energy in your spine to your brain. There's a lot of spirituality into there, but we're talking about physical action right now. And in Kundalini yoga, I learned to concentrate as much blood flow and as attention into your prefrontal cortex. And we've talked about this before. Your prefrontal cortex is the CEO of your brain. And if you run a company, you want to pay your CEO well. So this is basically, think of it as paying your CEO. Just use your eyes and focus them right there. And you can feel all the blood flow and energy and electricity flowing to your prefrontal cortex. And if you've done any ADHD brain scans, it's the scariest thing ever. Apparently it's not that big of a deal, but when you do an ADHD brain scan, there will literally be holes in your prefrontal cortex, because that's it. But it's just electricity that's not going there because we use so much of our other brain that we don't have enough to go there. But you can concentrate some right there just by closing your eyes and focusing here. Other drills I do, I love watching athletes like Kobe, Khabib, Lando Norris talk about how they train. Like if you just watch one video of Kobe talking about how much focus and concentration he puts into his training, drilling over and over and over until the movement and the shot becomes muscle memory, that will just show you how much of a weak little bitch you really are. And just listening to Khabib, you know immediately where you stand in life. If you can't compete at that level, doesn't matter what you could be an accountant, you could be a bookkeeper, you could be a nurse. But if you want to execute what you do at an elite level, act like an athlete. We've talked about meditation before, but and a lot of people talk about meditation, but I don't feel like people understand what meditation really is. Because even in my 4-hour blocks, if at any moment my brain feels like it's losing track on what the focus goal is, I sit back and I breathe. It's been scientifically proven that meditation thickens the gray matter. There's not much to training concentration. I do this thing. I stopped. I've done it for a while, but I'm really after this video, I'm gonna come back to it, which is focused. I got it from the book, The Power of Concentration. Light a candle where my eyes are not focused on the flame. My third eye is. My eyes are not moving, and to put it in perspective, I'm imagining a laser beam coming from the point from my pineal gland right there, focused onto the light, trying to intensify the light, trying to fueling the fire. It's all about repetition. Drills are boring. You have to be bored. Push-ups are boring, but it builds the foundation. If you cannot concentrate on what you are trying to achieve or what you are trying to execute, you will not get there. You might get lucky, but concentration is like archery. Every distraction is a wind in the arrow's path. The arrow might wobble, but if it's true, it will hit the target. As long as there's nothing blowing it out of its course. There are days where I feel like I'm just wasting my time. My mind is broken. There's no point to any of this. But it's like hammering a sword. It's like a blacksmith making a katana. You hammer that blade 1,000 folds until all the impurities have been cleansed out. Then you sharpen it until that very blade can cut through anything. You have a decision to make. You either stop before the sword is forged, before you even know what you can accomplish, or you keep hammering and hammering and hammering, knowing that one day.
Here, listen to this.
Every man addicted to something. Some smoke, some drink, some chase girls, some whiskey. But real man, he addicted to discipline. To early wakes, to prayer, to training, to silence. Discipline no need motivation. Discipline move without feeling. Discipline say, I go anyway, even when tired, even when lonely. Discipline is best addiction. You want strong life? Discipline build it. You want peace? Discipline protect it. You want respect? Discipline earn it. No shortcut, only work. Be man with control, not man with excuse. No cry, no blame. You want better life? Start with better habits. Discipline every day until discipline become you.
Well, that's it. You're focused now. But if you can take anything from this video, take this. We are definitely manufacturing ADHD. With social media and AI, focus and concentration has become a superpower. And it's a muscle, it can be trained. The reps are boring, but the results will change your life. Peace.